Paris, often nicknamed as the City of Lights, is a traveler's paradise. There is literally tons and tons of places to visit, corners to explore, and things to do. You could spend 3 weeks here, and at the end of it, still be yearning for more. Unfortunately, not all of us have that amount of time, and may only have a few days in the city. Irrespective of how much or how little time you have, there are places and experiences you just can't miss. One of the most expensive cities in Europe, Paris can be different for different people. While some of you may like visiting as many significant sites as possible, others may wish to spend a little more time enjoying long lunches and sipping a lot of wine during their 3 perfect days in Paris. Let's start. Day 1. Exploring the heart of Paris. As your first day in the city, you would feel the need to see a lot and do a lot to make the best out of it. But the reality is that you only have 3 days, so you should make the most out of every place you visit and yet keep enough time to actually sit with a glass of wine, relax, and enjoy the sounds of all things French that you hear in and around the capital. Spend the morning at the Notre Cathedral. There isn't a better start to your Paris tour than spending the morning at one of the most striking Gothic cathedrals in the world. Immortalized by Victor Hugo's The Hunchback of Notre Dame, this 14th century edifice is a sight to behold. Unfortunately, there aren't any skip-the-line tickets available for Notre Dame Cathedral, but as long as you arrive here early, it should be fine. There is no fee to enter the cathedral, but you need admission tickets for the crypt and the tower. And climbing the tower is a must if you want to enjoy splendid views of the city. There are plenty of eateries and cafes surrounding the cathedral, so any restaurant here would be a good place to sit down for a nice lunch and a coffee before you carry on with your Paris city tour. In the afternoon, visit Sainte-Chapelle and Champs-Elysees. After replenishing yourself, it's time to visit the Sainte-Chapelle. Often underrated, this Gothic-style chapel served as the king's residence until the 14th century and still houses some of the most magnificent stained glass windows you will ever come across. The chapel is just a 10 minutes walk from the cathedral and is best enjoyed on a clear sunny day. Buy a skip-the-line ticket to avoid the queue. Next, take the hop-on hop-off bus and head to none other than the tourist hub of Champs-Elysees, a 2-kilometer stretch of road dotted with shopping avenues, branded apparel stores, perfume parlors, and a lot more. This is a good place if you wanted to fulfill those shopping in Paris cravings of yours. Spend your evening at the Arc de Triomphe. Paris is a wonderland for travelers, and Arc de Triomphe is one of the most noteworthy spots in the city. Walking straight on Champs-Elysees, you will find yourself at the enormous roundabout that surrounds the Arc de Triomphe. Take some photos, enjoy some people watching, and then call it a day. You can pre-purchase your tickets to here. Go back to a restaurant, cafe, or pub that you may have found on your stroll through Champs-Elysees and settle in with a big serving of cassoulet and a glass of fine champagne. Now on to day 2, a walk through the City of Lights. 1 day gone, 1 day left. You are in the middle of your 3-day tour. Prepare yourself, as today will involve plenty of walking around the city of Paris. Spend the morning at the Louvre. The Louvre as a whole can take up all of your 3 days in the city, so you have to be picky with which Louvre attractions you want to see. You could either explore the gardens, the pyramids, and other structures from outside, or you could go inside the museum and be lost in fascination forever. A smart thing to do will be to book a tour of the Louvre with an experienced guide, so they can help you with seeing and exploring the best highlights that shouldn't be missed. After spending the morning at the Louvre, take a walk towards the next popular attraction, the Palais Garnier Opera. But before you head over to the opera, stop to get some Parisian lunch and maybe a pastry or two. Use your afternoon to visit the Palais Garnier and do some more shopping. A nice lunch and a pleasant 20-minute stroll later, find yourself at the superlative Palais Garnier Opera that looks like a mini castle embellished with picturesque hallways and decorations. You could either buy your tickets to the opera in advance and give yourself a self-tour, or if you have the time and want to learn more, book a guided tour for 90 minutes and explore more. The Opera is just 10 minutes walking from Boulevard Haussmann, one of the biggest shopping districts in the city. It is easy to lose track of time here, so don't get too carried away. Spend your evening at the Moulin Rouge. If you didn't exhaust yourself and your time shopping at Boulevard Haussmann, a great way to end your second day in the city will be to book yourself a performance with dinner and or champagne at the world-famous Cabaret, Moulin Rouge. Alternatively, you can take the hop-on hop-off service to Montmartre Sacré-Cœur and enjoy a funicular ride to the top of Montmartre and admire the charming views of the Basilica and the city before you walk back down Rue Thélozette to Rue Lepic and arrive at Moulin Rouge. Lastly, Day 3. Above and under La Ville Lumière. No matter how much you dislike it, you have come to the last day of your Paris tour, and there is no way you can leave without taking a few photos of the iconic Eiffel Tower and cruising the Seine River. Spend your morning cruising the Seine River and exploring the Eiffel Tower. If you purchased a combo ticket, it should include an hour of cruising around the Seine River, one of the most amazing experiences to cherish. A ride along the Seine River lets you appreciate several gorgeous buildings along its banks. It's better to come for the tour early morning, lesser crowds and better photo opportunities. If you didn't buy a combo ticket, you could still pre-purchase an hour-long Bateau Parisien ticket. We bet you have been dreaming about this moment since you knew you were heading to Paris. So, here is your ultimate moment at one of the most iconic structures in the whole wide world. Hold your breath as now you stand face to face with the Eiffel Tower. A great idea is to purchase a summit ticket in advance, so you can skip the queue at the bottom, not the summit. This way, you will have booked yourself a specific time to visit the very top. If you have the budget, book a lunch at 58 Tour Eiffel and enjoy your meal at the top of the world. Alternately, go to La Jules Verne for a delightful lunch and Lido Cafe if you want a dose of caffeine. In the afternoon, explore the catacombs. It's time to snap out of that Eiffel Tower daydream and head to a bit of spooky fun. Take the hop-on hop-off and get to the catacombs. Not suggested if you are claustrophobic or uneasy around bones. Lots and lots of bones. The catacombs are the best way to explore what lies beneath Paris. You can buy a skip-the-line pass or book a guided tour for access to zones which are restricted otherwise, and spend your last evening enjoying the sunset at Montparnasse Tower. After experiencing the untimely Halloween-like afternoon, it's time for some final relaxation. As your days in Paris come to an end, take the hop-on hop-off one last time and get to the Montparnasse Tower. There is no better place than the summit of this tower to appreciate the wonderful city you have just spent your last 3 days at. Stay here to watch the sun go down and the Eiffel Tower light up. Pre-purchase your ticket to avoid standing at the ticket counter and head straight to the lift that takes you to the top. Enjoy your final Parisian dinner at one of the restaurants near the tower and sip some more champagne as you reflect over your time here. A few stores nearby can help you with any last-minute shopping or souvenir purchases that you may want to make. So there you have it. How to spend 3 perfect days in Paris. What did you think? Did you learn something new? Which one was your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to Far and Beyond.